Hello and welcome to this SPSS one-on-one series with the word analytics. Today we look at the McNemar test. This is a test typically where you have a categorical variable measured at two different time points. You want to see whether a treatment has changed that categorical outcome. In today's example, we look at performance of students at two different time points. One, before a training is given to them, they are given a pre-test, then they are trained. Afterwards, a post-test is given to them. And we want to assess the effectiveness of the training. Did it significantly improve the performance of these students? That's where a McNemar test becomes very useful. You have paired data and the outcome is measured at two different time points for the same participants. So let's jump onto the computer and see how it is done. In today's episode, we are using a dataset that comes pre-installed with SPSS. To access this dataset, simply go to File, Open, and Open Data. Locate the installation folder for SPSS, usually under this PC, and select Local Disk C. That's the partition with your Windows. Look for Program Files and open IBM. Under IBM, there is SPSS, open it, and also go ahead, open Statistics. You will see a number corresponding to the version of SPSS you're using. Go ahead and open, then look for Samples, open it, and select the language. Today we are using a dataset called Test Scores. Once you click on Test Scores and then click Open. In this dataset, our focus is on these two variables, pre-test and post-test. So let's turn to the variable view. Our focus today is going to be on pre-test and post-test. For each of these participants, they have marks for the pre-test and post-test. But remember, we said for us to run a chi-square test, we should have a categorical outcome measured at two different time points for the same participants. Should be paired data or matched data. So far, it is the same participant, so that's matched data, but not categorical. So I have categorized these marks to have less than 50, then 50 and above for both the pre-test and post-test. If you don't know how to categorize or record your variables in SPSS, please check out our previous video on how to manipulate your variables. The link is on your screen. I'm now going to turn to the dataset where I have these categorized using the criteria of below 50, then 50 and above for both the pre-test and post-test. So this here is my dataset where we have categorized pre-test and post-test into less than 50 and then 50% and above. When you see like for pre-test here was 62, this is 50 and above. First, let me just run frequencies for the pre-test and post-test so that you see the distribution. Frequencies, just go to Analyze, Descriptives, and then Frequencies. We want to see the distribution of pre-test and post-test. I can press Ctrl and select post-test to push all of them in our variable windows that we want to test. I say OK. You can see that before, in the pre-test, we had 64.5% of people who scored 50% and above. But in the post-test, we have 88.1%, meaning there is an increase from 64.5 to 88.1%. And the question we are asking ourselves, is this change statistically significant? Is this change as a result of the training that these people underwent? This same question can be asked in the other way around by looking at those below 50%. We have 35.5% of participants scoring below 50% in the pre-test, but after the training in the post-test, we have only 11.9% of the participants scoring below 50%. So we can see a reduction here, but the question is this reduction statistically significant? Is this reduction as a result of the training that these participants have undergone? So that's where the McNemar test comes in to help you draw that conclusion. There are two ways how you can run this McNemar test. Number one, you can simply come to analyze, go to descriptive statistics, then go to cross tabulations. Under cross tabulations, you can push your pre-test in rows and post-test in columns, or the other way around. The order doesn't matter. Then under statistics, choose the McNemar test, then continue, and then everything is set. Click OK. You can see in our output, you can see we have the summary statistics here showing us the number of value. Any missing we do not have. Then we have a contingency table showing the cross tabulation between participants' performance in the pre-test and how they scored in the post-test. And then we have the results for the McNemar test showing that it is less than the p-value, or the significance is less than 0.05, indicating that there were significant differences in the performance, in the change in performance between the pre-test and the post-test. The second way we can run this McNemar test is through analyze, go to non-parametric tests, and go to legacy dialog, then select two related samples. Click on this, and then should be able to put, first of all, uncheck the Wilcoxon, but in the setting we are going to select the pre-test and push it there under variable 1. Then variable 2, we are going to push this to this box and release it there. So we have variable 1, pre-test 2, and then variable 2 is the post-test. Then we select McNemar, and then we say OK. Yeah, we have a chi-square value here, and then the p-value, which is as before. That's how you run the McNemar test. It is more of a chi-square test, but for paired data, where the outcome is for the same participants measured at different time points. So in our next episode, we shall be looking at the t-test, when to use it, how to interpret results. So basically today we've looked at the McNemar test, which is used for analysis when the outcome is measured at two different time points for the same participants, and it is categorical in nature. For this case, we've looked at whether there was a significant difference in the performance of participants in the pre-test and post-test as a result of the training they obtained. So next video, we shall be looking at the t-test in SPSS, conditions, when to run it, how to interpret results, and how to write your results in a Word document. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you keep receiving the alerts whenever new videos are released. See you in the next episode.